Hi creatives, Chidi here, and on today's tutorial I bring to you this lovely dress that you can see on the screen. I actually shared the process I took to put it together. That is the sewing tutorial. In the last tutorial I shared the drafting tutorial. I also shared the drafting tutorial of the sleeve. If this sounds like what you've been interested in knowing, okay, this beautiful sleeve that you can see on the screen, I shared how I made it. So come with me as I show you every bit of the process I took in making this. Here I have my yoke and the 3-cup style, as well as the midriff and the back of this pattern. Okay, I will be sharing with you how I put this together. I did not share the process of putting together the skirt, but if you're interested in it, I will not hesitate to show you how I made the skirt parts of this gown. But in this tutorial, I shared the sewing process or the sewing tutorial of this very dress, as well as the sleeve drafting and sewing. So come with me as I show you every bit of what I did. So here I have my 3-cup style in doll face satin, and I'll be cutting out with the bra foam that you can see on the screen. I will cut it out and I will ensure that the allowance is free after I cut out the bra foam. Okay, I cut it out, every bit of it, till the third piece, and I trimmed out the whole part that will be on the seam allowance. I just trimmed like 1/2 inch from all the sides of the foam. I hope you understand. So that is what I'm doing here, and I am checking it whether it is okay the way I want it. The only place I allow the foam to get to is the bust point area, because there I will be needing that fullness, but that is a tiny allowance, just as I'm pointing. Tiny allowance to use and join the foam together. I hope you understand. So it's very important that you confirm that everything is rhyming the way you want it, okay? Except the tiny, about 1/4 inch, it's not really up to 1/4 inch. I'm sewing allowance that I added to the foam. And here also I've cut out the foam. I will be putting it together and you will see the whole process I took in doing this. Okay, here I am trimming part of the foam also for this very part of the cup, just as I did for the first one. I'm trimming it to exactly the way I want it. You see how I left about 1/2 inch on that side of the cup. Okay, here is the upper part of the 3-cup style. I will also go ahead and cut out on the bra foam and trim just as I trimmed the others, just leaving about 1/4 inch sewing allowance around that joining part of the bust points. I hope you understand. Just watch closely and you will see every bit of what I am trying to explain. Okay, you will see where I left 1/4 inch to be able to put this bra foam together. This is a customized bra foam. This type of padding is better because you won't have to deal with any shortage of bra foam or excess. Okay, so here I have my stabilizer that I used on this midriff, and that is the lighter type of the cloth gum. That is what I used there, not the thick cloth gum. Okay, but it has strength and it's stabilized the midriff very well. I also applied my hairstay on this 3-cup style. I put like 3 layers of the hairstay on it. Okay, and on this midriff, on the fabric, that is the satin part, I also put 3 layers. Here I have the hairstay also added to the back. Okay, and here I have my lining. The lining of the midriff, I used the light cloth gum. It has strength, a little bit of strength, not too hard. I also used it on the cup stylings. Okay, I used the cloth gum. That is what I used. Here I have the lining of the back pattern. Watch closely how I stabilized that part. That is how you do yours, and this is the 3 cup style that I've already cut out on the bra foam. Watch closely and you will see every bit of the process that I took to put this together. Very, very important. So here I have my cups, that is the 3 style cupped bra foam. I will be joining it together. If you have a zigzag stitch, you can use zigzag to put it together, but in this case you are not going to leave any sewing allowance. But because I'm using normal stitch, I left about 1/4 inch sewing allowance. Now this is the back and the front yoke. I have net there. I have net that I'll be using to line it. I used net to line the neckline of this yoke. Very beautiful way to line your yoke. Here am I on my machine, and you can see already that I have joined together the chantilly lace and the net. I have already joined it together. The middle there I notched, and I'm going ahead to sew the other side of the chantilly lace neckline. I've sewn half of it. I'm going ahead to sew the other half. Watch closely to see how I am joining this together. Try it out and you will come back to thank me. Okay, so I'm using my net. This net is not the very light one that is stretchy. It has strength and it stretches on only one side. Okay, and I allow the side that stretches to be horizontal, while the side that does not stretch is vertical. I hope you understand. Here I am notching the neckline and I'm pushing the excess to one side. That is the side of the net or the tulle, and I'm top stitching. That is just what I'm doing here. And after top stitching, I will go ahead and iron. Here I have top stitched and you can see what it's looking like. I will go ahead and iron this and you will see how flat and beautiful it will be looking. After ironing, you just trim off any excess that may be on the lace. Here I have ironed is just to go ahead and trim off every excess that may be there. I'm just pinning it down to hold it in place so that when I trim, I will be very sure of what I am trimming. Here I'm going ahead to use my machine to hold this together to further keep it in place. Now after doing this, I'm going to trim off every excess on this yoke. This is the front yoke. I'll go ahead and trim every excess on this yoke and get it ready to join it to the other parts of the dress. Guys, if you've not subscribed to my channel at this point, what are you waiting for? Join the family and you will not regret it. Also, don't forget to turn on your notification bell to be the first to know once I upload my beautiful videos. Thanks, guys. So here I have my yoke already prepared. I have already joined some of my cups, even the back. I've gone ahead to join the back yoke just the same way I did for the front. That's the same process I used for the back. Watch closely to see what I'm doing. I'm trying to explain everything that I did. I've sewn the darts of the back. Here is my midriff and here is my 3 cup. I've already joined 2 sides of the cup. I will go ahead and join the 3rd side to complete the cup styling. Watch how I ironed that 2 cup open before I will join it to the 3rd one. Okay, so here I have my back pattern and you can see the midriff, that is the lining, and see the lining. I've joined the lining completely. Watch what the allowance looks like and how I ironed it open. Here I have my bra foam already joined with about 1/8 inch sewing allowance, but if you're not using regular sewing machine, that's fine too. Now watch how I have kept this foam on the cup. I am putting it on the lining of this cup, please. I'm putting it on the lining of this cup. Ensure you pin it in place form it very well and pin it in place. Okay, form it very well and put it in place. Do the second one the same way, and I'll go ahead and go to my machine and sew it down. Also observe the seam allowances I left so that those seam lines will be free. It won't be bulky. Here I am stitching it to the curve. That is what I was trying to explain. I'm using about 1/4 inch to stitch this to the cup. Beautiful. After stitching it to the cup, mind you, this is the lining, is not the fabric. You stitch your bra foam to the lining. I am unpinning every part of it, and now I will be using it to finish up the dress that it's already in the process of, you know, coupling. So having done that, I will join the third cup to this part. I've already done it for the other part of the cup. Here is the satin, and I'll go ahead and join it together. Watch how I am placing the two and how I am joining it. Okay, join and observe your notches as you join. Observe your notches as you join and notch. See how I'm notching it? I'll go ahead and iron it open before I continue my dressmaking. I'll open it up and iron. That way your cup will just sit perfectly and properly. I'm notching the second cup also. I'll go ahead to iron it down on my ironing bay, and this is what I have. Having ironed it, this is what I have for the satin part, and when you put it on top of this, see what it gives. This dress is so beautiful, so beautiful. So this is what I have when it is put on the lining carrying the bra foam. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is this. See how it's looking. Here I am on the ironing bay. You can see how beautiful this is looking already. Now I'll join my yoke, the front yoke, to this. Please ensure that you notch where necessary. Watch where I am pointing. I'm going to go ahead and notch this. Okay, ensure you notch the adjoining part even during making the pattern so that everything will match appropriately. You won't have any excess anywhere. Ensure you mark this during your pattern making. As you make pattern and you are cutting on fabric, take note of this. See how I slashed there, slightly open, not much. Note that there is a seam line there. I did not even cut through the seam line. I just cut to it, but not through it. Okay, so this will help us to, sew down this cup to this yoke comfortably. Now watch how I am going to be stitching this. Very important. Watch how I'm going to stitch this. Watch how I'm going to sew this. I have started at this edge. Watch closely. I'll stitch this and get to that cut that I have on the yoke. And when I get to that cut that I have on the yoke, watch what I'm going to do. You see what I did? I am going ahead to gradually follow the curve, and yeah, it's very smooth. See how perfectly it is matching. The cut there will just help everything to, blend perfectly. That is the job of this notch. I will go ahead and do the same thing for the second cup. Ensure you put that cut there and follow your markings. Follow your markings and stitch it down. So this is the same thing I did for the second side, and When I am done with this, I'll be showing you the other process I took to make this. Okay. See what it's looking like already. I'll go ahead and join the lining part of the scalp to this. See how beautiful it's looking already. So I will join my lining to this. I've already joined one side. I will go ahead and join the lining just the same way I did for the fabric and the yoke. I'll just pin down the lining. If you're not comfortable sewing it directly as I'm doing, you can pin it down and gradually sew. I'm going ahead to notch it. This is to ensure that it relaxes perfectly. After notching, I am top stitching. This is exactly what I did for the cup that you did not see when I did it. Okay, so this is how I did it, top stitch, and everything is relaxing very perfectly, very perfectly. How I love this dress, so beautiful and nice. Now, having done this, the next thing I'm going to be adding is the midriff of this dress. I'm just trying to notch the middle so that it will help me while joining the midriff. Here I have the midriff. I've cut it there. I will go ahead and join this together. I'm starting from the middle, and this is how I am going ahead to join this. Lovely. So in the same vein, I'm still going to stitch down the second part of this midriff. That's just that if you feel, if you find it difficult stitching this thing down, you can go ahead and pin it down with a pin just as I am doing, and then you run across this place with your sewing machine. So I'm just pinning it down so that everything will just be in place for me to stitch down. That is how to do it. Watch how I am sewing it. As I'm sewing, I'm removing the pins. Follow these whole sewing techniques and you will not regret watching this video. See how lovely it's looking already. You go ahead and notch this midriff. Watch how I am notching it. So that is how to notch your midriff. After notching, I will go ahead and fix the lining part of the midriff. The same process we used for the fabric part, that is also what we are using for the lining part. Stitch from the middle to one side, then you turn and also stitch from the middle to the other side. That's just it. Ensure that you notch. Very, very important. These cuffs needs to be notched. If you don't notch it, you'll be confused. That like no, it will not be neat. It will not lay flat. Now that is the benefit or importance of ironing, of sewing and putting notches on curved parts of the clothes. So that is what I'm doing. I'm taking my time to show the whole process so that you will understand every bit of what I did in putting this together. It's easy, just follow the method, follow the rules, and you will get your dress perfectly. Now, having sewn the lining, the next thing I'm going to do is to notch and iron. The next thing I'm going to do is to notch and iron. I'm going ahead to notch. Beautiful. I'm going ahead to notch. Then after that, I am going to iron. I'm going to iron this dress so that everything will relax. Here I am top stitching this midriff. As much as you can, ensure that you top stitch. This helps the dress to relax perfectly. Top stitching helps the dress to relax perfectly. So that is what I did here, and I've trimmed off my excess thread. This is what I have. I'll go ahead and iron. Now this is what I have after ironing. I am trimming off every excess from the lining. This is how beautiful it's lying. The next is to join the skirt to this. Here I have my skirt already, I've put it together. This is the front side, and I'll be joining it to the midriff of this bodice. Okay, I'll be joining it together to make a gown, and this is how to join where you have a V cut like this midriff here. Ensure you pin everything in place and stitch. I also notched that V part of the skirt. You notch it so that everything is going to relax. Watch closely to see what I'm doing. I'm notching that middle. Watch closely. I notched that middle. Very important. It will make the sewing process very easy and relaxed. So now I've gone ahead to stitch one side of the skirt, and because of the notch I put on the skirt part, joining this other side will be very, very easy. Okay, joining this other side will be very easy, and that is what I'm doing here. I've joined it, and you can see how beautiful it's laying. If you're interested in the skirt, let me know in the comments so that I will upload it. Okay, but I'll have something like this on the channel. That's why I'm a bit, So here I am joining the back part of the skirt to the back part of the bodice. That is just what I'm doing here. I've joined it together. I've even gone ahead to close up the sides. I've shaped the side. The gown is already looking lovely. You can see how beautiful it's looking. This skirt part is so beautiful, and I have something like this on the channel. But if you want me to upload this very well, let me just know. Okay, now this is what I have. I'll go ahead and show you how I made the sleeve of this beautiful dress. Here I have my sleeve, the basic sleeve, as you can see on the screen. The basic sleeve. Here is the basic part of the sleeve. I just, extended it to be a long sleeve. That is just that for the chantilly. I have a tutorial on basic sleeve on the channel. I'll put it in the description box. I'll link it up. So here I am cutting the basic sleeve. That is what I'll be using as the lining of the puff sleeve. Watch closely and you will understand. I cut 2 pieces of this basic sleeve, and the next thing to do is to cut the puff part. Watch closely to see what I'm doing. I'm drawing slash lines across the basic sleeve. That is to make my puff sleeve. After having drawn those lines, the next thing I'm going to do is to cut through. I'm giving 2 inches from that fold because this is a folded fabric. I'll be placing my sleeve pattern on that 2 inches from the fold. Okay, do yours the same way and you will get this exact sleeve. I've slashed open the slash lines, and this is how I'm spreading it. Feel free to spread based on your desire or how full you want the sleeve to be, but this is fine for what my client wants. I also added 2 inches to that tip, the cap side of the sleeve. Okay, I'll go ahead and gather this together, put it together properly, and then in fact, you will see the whole process. I'm just notching the midpoints of the sleeves. It helps in matching the pattern pieces together. So here I'm going to gather on that basic sleeve. I'm going to gather it. Here I have formed the gather. I'll go ahead and top stitch. Very important. Push your allowance towards the lining side, that is the smaller part of the sleeve, and top stitch. That is all. Beautiful. Having done that, you iron. Then I'm going ahead to form the cap of the puff sleeve. So this is just how it is done. This is the puff sleeve, already almost ready, and I'll be joining this together with my basic sleeve when the time comes. Now, having done this, I'll go ahead and close up the sleeve and fix it to the long basic sleeve that is already made, that I've already cut. So here I'm showing you what I used to stabilize the sleeve. That is thick pepper, the type they call gum stay. Okay, now I'm fixing it together, the chantilly lace and the puff sleeve. That is what I have there. I've put it together. The next is to add it to a dress. This is how lovely the sleeve looks. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Here I've added it to my gown and you can see how beautiful it's looking. If you enjoyed this tutorial, let me know in the comments. If there's anything you want me to treat, also let me know and I will gladly do that. If you're interested in this skirt, also let me know. I will do it. Don't fail to subscribe and turn on your notification bell so that you will be the first to know whenever I upload a new lovely tutorial. My videos are always lovely, detailed, and very beautiful. You will always learn a new thing from my video, I can assure you. Now go ahead and click that subscribe button, like, comment, just feel free to react to this video. And I want to thank you, especially my old and new subscribers, for always stopping by to watch my videos and then supporting my brand through this process. I love you all and I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much for watching and see you in my next one.